Never give up. Great things take time. That's today's quote of the day, and this is Coach Rick checking in my home away from home, my home office, I should say, home away from the gym, and doing a little bit of a staycation, a very exciting project, CW Fitness app. Coach Rick and I are working on developing. More info on that soon, but as I was working on that this week, it's funny that this quote came up because it definitely rings true. You know, great things take time. And certainly anything that is a big endeavor, it's gonna be hard to get it knocked out quickly. You know, some people have this ability to do many things very quickly, and unfortunately that's not everybody. You know, we wish we all had this ability, but I think anything that requires a lot of effort will require time, whether that's time actually put in to accomplish, you know, goals along the way, or if it's something that requires practice to get better at, like say dance or gymnastics or martial arts or any sort of skill, physical or mental, you know, playing a piano, being able to play an instrument. So great things take time really struck a chord, because as I'm working on this app, you know, there's a lot of education that goes along with it, because you know, you have to look at, okay, how do I put it together, you know, and some things are actually you can seek out because other people might have skills that you can kind of leverage, but at the end of the day, it's a big project, many moving parts, and it can feel overwhelming. And I think in our day-to-day activities, sometimes we come across this. You might be dealing with something like that right now in your daily life. So this quote is a nice reminder to kind of take a step back and look at the landscape and see that, in fact, anything that's worth undertaking is going to be pretty much a daunting task, whether it's because of the time or the energy or the resources that you need to actually pull it off. But don't let that discourage you, because if something is great, it's worth that effort, right? And this goes beyond just, you know, projects or things that you can accomplish at work. I mean, this goes into building relationships. This goes into building yourself up mentally and spiritually. So if you value somebody and you want to really get to know them, you put time into that relationship, you put time into that connection, because it's worth it. It takes time, but it's worth the effort. So one of the things that this really kind of connected with me is that working on something big. And on the same token, I also was thinking of another quote, which was, what comes easily goes easily, and what comes with great difficulty goes with great difficulty. Meaning, if it's something that you can acquire very easily, you might not have the same appreciation for it as something that came with a lot of effort and sacrifice. You know, if you go, let's say, as an example, if you're somebody who wants to race and you want to run and be fast, you know, if you're already a pretty good runner, or if somebody tells you, okay, run this, you know, 1K race, and you run it, and you know, it's not too challenging. You felt maybe a little bit fatigued. You got a little bit of a sweat. Somebody gave you a medal. It's like, you got it, you know. That where you maybe didn't have to practice for it and you were already there at the beginning of the challenge, versus if somebody said, I want you to run an Ironman race, where, you know, you have to swim a couple miles, run a marathon, and then bike like 125, 150 miles. That's very difficult, and that's going to take a lot of effort. So you're going to have to train years to be able to really do that effectively, most likely. And then imagine you go through all that training, all that blood, sweat, and tears, and then you get to the point where you can finish the race and do it well and feel really accomplished. That's not going to go out of your memory very easily. That's something that's going to stay with you for a lifetime, most likely. Just like if you train, you know, if you get one workout in and you break a sweat, and then you don't work out for another month, you know, it's going to come and go very quickly, you know, the benefits to your body. You might have a little bit of an increase in energy and, you know, maybe sleep better that night. But then if you don't upkeep it, how much is it going to do for you health-wise, right? Versus if you're on a regular regimen, you're training 5 to 6 days a week, let's say, you know, you're eating well, you're prepping your meals, you're keeping an eye on things that help you mentally as well as spiritually, and you maintain that for years. You build up the temple of your body to the point where it's very strong. And then if you slack for, let's say, a week or two, it's those benefits, you know, they're gonna maybe go down a little bit, but it's gonna be hard for them to go because you've already built up such a strong foundation. And also, probably because you built up your habits, it's gonna be hard for you to not do the things that make you feel good. So I see this a lot with athletes where it's like when they're not training, they feel like something is off. Like, I don't feel good. My energy's not there. Why? You know, and that's because they're not doing those things that make them feel good. Their physical body and also their mental acuity and things that make them feel very enlivened, you know, which might be meditation in the morning or going out for like a walk in the sun or a walk in the woods or something, you know, something good. So anyway, to bring it back, I believe that what's important is that we appreciate when things are difficult because they are great and they take great effort, but they're worth it. Because when you see how much you're able to gain, whether it's through personal growth or, you know, by others, you know, seeing how much you've put in and really giving you accolades for the work you put in, receiving rewards or what have you, it really does inspire us. So dare to be great and don't be daunted by things that are very, very intense in terms of workload because they're gonna pay off. Feel the power.